All right, I'd like to call this public meeting of the Planning Commission for the town of Cedar Lake, October 21st, 2020, 7 p.m. to order. In accordance with the governor's executive order related to COVID-19, we have arranged a live stream of tonight's meeting at cedarlakein.org/u-town-meetings/ You must join the meeting through the link to participate during the public meeting. If you have a question or comment about an item on the agenda, please email michelle.baker@cedarlakein.org by 4 p.m. Ms. Baker will ensure that all submissions are shared and the submission entered into the minutes of the meeting. Please keep your comments civil and constructive to the policy issues. Let's stand for the pledge, please. Bob, go ahead. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Heather Dessauer. Present. Chuck Becker.
Here.
John Kapora.
Present.
John Foreman.
John Foreman, you out there?
Okay. Richard Sharp.
Here.
Jerry Wilkeny.
Here.
Robert Carnahan.
Here.
Don Oliphant.
Here.
David Austin.
Present.
Tim Kubiak.
Here.
Michelle Baker. Here. And I am present.
All right. Mr. Foreman may or may not jump on.
John Foreman, are you there? He's on.
John Foreman, are you here?
I am present.
Thank you. All right, we will begin with item number 1 of the new business. The owner CNL Leasing. I'm sorry. Does anyone have any questions about the minutes from September 16th, 2020? Public meeting. Would anyone like to make a motion regarding acceptance of the minutes from September 16th, 2020?
I'll make a motion to accept it.
The motion from John Kapora,
I'll second it.
second by Heather. Roll call, please.
Heather Dessauer.
Yes.
Chuck Becker.
Yes.
John Foreman.
Yes.
Robert Carnahan.
Yeah.
Richard Sharp.
Yes.
John Kapora.
Yes.
Jerry Wilkeny.
Yes, vote carries unanimously. All right, now to new business, item number 1. Ravens site plan, owner CNL Leasing LLC, Rory Ravens, 12528 Wicker Avenue, Cedar Lake, 46303. The petitioner is Rory Ravens, 12528 Wicker Avenue, PO Box 339, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Cindy's 12528 Wicker Avenue. Legal description, Coffin Business Park. The petitioner is requesting a site plan approval. I believe we have a little correspondence here in our summary. Don, do you have anything on this item right now?
We received an updated site plan kind of based off of a meeting I think that Michelle and Tim had with the applicant, but obviously since it came, I got it yesterday, so I haven't looked at it.
All right. I guess if this doesn't look like it's probably totally ready. Does anybody have any immediate questions about this item? Okay. The planning summary that Michelle gave us is pretty self-explanatory. I guess there's a little more work to do. But it's not complete and Don hasn't had time to look at it. So,
Roy's here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So would the petitioner have any comments, anything you'd like to get to? No? There are probably a couple things that we probably could hit on. So,
Do I need to say the name?
yeah, please.
Okay. Rory Ravens, 12528 Wicker Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. I don't know, just tried to put everything together that you guys were requesting. At the mercy of the people doing it, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a tough schedule
Yeah,
to stay with.
Yeah,
I understand.
I mean, they did create in the site plan, they created that truck turnaround in the parking spaces so you could see how to lay out. And I guess the need for that actual space to be able to make that truck turnaround. A lot of the trailers delivering to us are 52, 53 foot long. Pretty much takes all of that to make that turn.
I understand.
Not being able to, we just got a lot of chaos in there right now
Yeah, it's a tough site and every inch counts. I'm quite sure.
Yeah.
Did anyone have anything? Because I know we talked about a few things at the work session. Tim and Michelle have talked to Rory about some things. Again, the site plan's not ready, but
Rory, you did have some information on the lights and
lighting, I got an estimate of, what it costs to put poles at the other end of it. It's probably somewhere between $18,000 and $24,000. We took the existing lights, they go from 1 to 8. And we turned one building down to 1, the other up to 8. I mean, you can definitely still tell there's a light there.
yeah,
But, it's not protruding out as far. Basically, it's just not as strong.
Yeah.
And that, the lights have been there for 20 years. If
Yeah.
I have to, I'd be glad to put the other ones back on.
well,
Yeah.
ultimately,
Or just take them off.
ultimately and you know what, depending on the situation, however it ends up laying out with the photometric layout, that could end up being an option.
Yeah.
And all the light from the north push against the building. I don't know.
Yeah.
The other piece of this was, we know that there's areas, you mentioned that there was going to be some repair to the existing parking lot as far as the surface, and then this new area would be blacktop.
Yeah.
Are
It's
you comfortable with committing to a window of time with that? Or I mean, because the word in the future may or may not fly.
No, my goal would be probably spring at this point. We're too far into the season now.
So you'd be good with a 12-month window?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would.
Does anybody have anything else? So Mr. Ravens doesn't come back to any surprises when he gets everything together?
and you did reach out about the shield.
I
Right,
haven't got
and-
a response on that.
Okay.
I reached out and asked about it, if we can put the deflector to,
Mhm.
shoot the light down instead of out. I looked at the Eagles, which has done the same thing. It could be done. I mean, we're up high enough. It could be done. It could be angled, or the lights could be just slanted down. That's the concern.
Well,
Yeah.
ultimately, the ordinance is the lighting ordinance is very specific, and this is new. It's new and it's old, but now there's a neighborhood there that we have to contend with in part. So anyway, I know Mr. Kubiak and I have had a conversation about this briefly, and so you have anything, Mr. Sharp?
I do not, Chair.
Okay, Don, any immediate thoughts?
Not right now until we get into the resubmittal.
Okay. Mr. Foreman,
No, I mean, I was hoping that this gentleman would be able to maybe get something going with some contingencies in order to do asphalt before the frost and the asphalt plants close. Rory, was that still your objective?
Yeah, I would love to. The problem is all this process is taking so long. It's kind of like when we were talking about the cooler. Everything's pushing you into another year. If I can speak openly, I mean, very frustrating as somebody trying to grow and run a business. I've been over a year at this. Basically, the goalpost keeps moving and the cost just keeps going up. And I anticipate this project being $200,000-$300,000 by the time I do the whole thing. It's at that point where I'm contemplating, do I do satellite facilities?
put a place down in Remington that can get a pole barn, middle of nowhere, no restriction. Move some people there, move some into Illinois. And put my 300,000 or more into something else, that's gonna be long term.
Yeah,
The goalpost keeps moving and the timeframes of trying to run a business. It's hard to work. I mean, we're busting at the seams and it's just,
well, some of us, you are busting at the seams, and
Yeah.
that's a good thing. We did hit on that 2 weeks ago, a little bit about, you mentioned the goalpost keeps moving, but I think the site plan was missing some things, and we talked about that also, and I mean, it's your
I'm not
your
trying to-
development right now is behind the neighborhood in timeline. So now we have to approach this a little differently. And and perhaps lights along the north edge of that new parking area may suffice for shining against the building.
Yeah, I just think, Jerry, I think that, and commissioners, I feel as though, the gentleman, again, like I reiterated 2 weeks ago, the gentleman has had the business there for a long time, number one. Number two, a year ago, he came to us, asked if we could think about vacating this road somehow, some way, someday. And number three, he had his engineer do what the engineer did. The engineer followed the brand new facility, building, subdivision control ordinance for the setback with the trees and or fence, what have you. We talked about it at the last meeting. Everybody seemed okay at that time. The lighting, the gentleman's been in our town for a long time. If we find that this lighting, if we made a motion to approve so he could get going with his asphalt to take care of some safeguards with semis, et cetera, let him do the asphalt up to the line like we discussed at the work session. I'm sure he's going to live up to what needs to be done properly with the lighting. He wants to be a good business community type of guy. So, I'd be willing to make a motion to approve contingent on the details being dealt with at a later date due to the fact that the calendar is sitting here in 10/21.
Well, John, I totally understand what you're saying, but I also feel that Mr. Raven has pursued over at least a 1 year period this vacation and is using it the way it is. The improvements are part of the ordinances, and this is not, I don't think these are unreasonable expectations. I do understand that he's got a tight space there. I deal with that on occasion at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. But Don has not looked over the site plan, and there's quite a few details here that are not dealt with. So I guess you and I are just going to have to disagree on some of these things.
Yeah, possibly. And or when it comes time to possibly make a motion, we could try it and see what happens.
I would like to chime in on this too, because we had the scrap yard there that Summer Tree came in, and we eventually said that Summer Tree came after the scrap yard. And I think his lighting in that existed and it's grandfathered in, and this subdivision comes after the fact with the same sort of discussion we had with the scrap yard.
Well, Bob, the lighting on this property that we're talking about was modified. And when you modify it, it needs to meet the current guidelines. And so that has, again, opened the door for these needed improvements. And this is not about the lighting in totality. It's about making sure we don't have another parking lot that never gets blacktopped, because it has worked fine for all these years. So
I'd go along with seconding Don if he made that into a motion.
Yeah, again, we have ordinances, we have a code enforcement officer, lighting is lighting. We're talking about asphalt and parking. So I'd like to stick with my idea of making a motion when the time is right.
Mr. Sharp, you have any thoughts?
I don't have any right now, Jerry.
Mr. Corey, any thoughts?
What all are we looking at here? We were kind of in agreement at the work session that it was okay for him to extend the parking lot to the property line. We were gonna check into the lighting, and he agreed at that work session that he was gonna put the lighting up that was necessary to meet the ordinance. Correct, right?
Now, you had asked me if I was okay with it. I didn't really answer that question, but at the end of the day, no, I'm not gonna let lighting hold up the whole time, but, you know, it's one of them things that's.
There's a lot of
it's like
pieces.
It's been there for 20 years and it's like, nobody's ever complained.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what all the pieces are.
Well, Don hasn't even looked this over in totality because he got it yesterday or today, whenever it
The
was.
only thing that had to be changed on that site plan was remove the
Landscaping.
Was it the 15 feet, John?
the
Or 30
15 feet and the barrier. The engineer had put plantings up on that 15 foot for a buffer zone, and that had to be removed. And then the asphalt extended out to the property line. Don's had the original site plan, and nothing's changed off that other than taking the plantings out and moving the asphalt. So I mean, I don't, you know, he's had a plan he could look at. I don't know if he looked at it or not.
Well, he said,
You just
Don,
got
we'll
it,
ask
yeah.
him.
You just got it.
Don Oliphant, have you looked this over? I thought you had told us already.
We have not. It was our understanding that we weren't going to look it up until he met with Michelle and Tim and resubmitted something that was agreed on.
And we have really any new information. We really don't have any new information.
The whole new site plan with the parking and that buffer
Okay.
strip gone and the turnaround and, you guys did ask him for the price for the lights and stuff like that. I mean, those were things that you wanted him to check into. Talk to Jeff about the landscaping.
Okay, and what else are we looking at? I thought it was just down to a couple, those 3 items. What-
Yeah, and
what-
that's what,
We had, at the work session, there was a request of waivers of some of these things.
the one with the stripes.
This is a new site plan
Okay,
that's in our packet. I didn't realize that, so.
well, Don, again, getting these things.
No, I know.
at-
Don hadn't
at the
had a chance
last
to look
minute-
at it,
At the
yeah.
last minute is.
I understand.
you know,
Who did it? Who's your engineer?
Spring is the engineer.
Oh,
I
okay.
got it. I
Okay.
sent it to Michelle as soon as I got
I understand.
Our engineer hasn't had time to look it over.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit the guidelines that we've set forth, the protocol that we've discussed. And there's pieces of this missing.
What
And
pieces are missing? I'm trying to find that out.
we don't have some kind of surety that the parking lot will be done in 12 months. We don't have a design for
You,
the lighting.
it. I can give you that. I mean, I need it done more than you want it done.
I understand, but without getting into what do you call them, Mr. Kubiak, the oversights or the sins of the past. We certainly want to make sure that this blacktopping gets done.
And I have no
And
problem.
and
signing off.
and I believe you, but I believe
I have no
I try to
problem
believe
signing-
everybody who's standing there.
I have no problem signing off on it. I mean, that's not.
I understand.
I
Chuck,
could go a
any-
year.
Without
with
Don
along
looking at
with-
it, I don't see how we can, because we don't know if there's a water runoff or if it's gonna affect the,
Well, that's all
So
part,
Don
that's
actually-
all part of Don's.
right. Until Don actually takes a look at it, I don't see how we can prove it.
Heather, any thoughts?
Unless we make it contingent on Don's approval of the runoff. I just don't want the lighting to hold up. We got a nickel holding up $1 here, but more importantly, the safety factor is immense. Winter season's coming, the plants are closing. That's all.
What do you mean the safety factor?
I don't like the idea of semi stopping on US 41 and backing into that parking lot. That's it.
Well, that's not gonna change anything. That's not gonna change with a whole lot with the parking lot as tight as it is. I
But
know-
we have work sessions and we discussed most of these things. And I felt as though when we left the work session, he was operating in good faith, having his engineering firm do what he needed to do. I get it that Don just got the stuff yesterday or today. And so if we made something contingent on that and kept the lighting out of it and worked with the property owner and the code enforcement on the lighting to abide by what today's standards are that he already said he would, then I think we're golden.
I guess the code enforcement person would need the whole list of things that need to be addressed. And I know those lights aren't shining in your house, John. They're not shining in mine either.
Yeah, but and today there is no house there, but more importantly, you're 100% right. I think the bottom line is we want to be pro-business. We want to help folks grow and stay in our community. And the man's been asking for a year to do what he's asking for. The council approved the vacation of the road a while ago. So I just feel like, are we really making a mountain out of a molehill? That's all.
Can I ask a question? I mean,
Sure,
Is
sure.
there an ordinance that says you have to have lights?
I think there's,
mean, if
I
it's-
think there's
if
a,
it's deal
there's a,
breaker, I just take them off.
there's a,
It's like,
there,
it just
there,
isn't worth it.
there is a, I believe there's a minimum for parking lots for lumens or foot candles, minimum amount for parking.
Okay.
I don't know what that number is right offhand.
Yes, there's a foot candle minimum.
So,
Whatever that is, we figure it out.
Mr. Kubiak, you have any thoughts?
No, other than, I guess, my only thoughts are that this is adding 30 feet of asphalt on an existing parking lot, so I'm in agreement, you know, with it being an addition of 30 feet to Mr. Foreman's comments. Of course, I agree that the lights are important, that they're not shining into the new development to the north. Whether or not the site needs a full-blown photometric plan and lighting according to a brand new business is
No.
your guys' call. I mean, again, it's an existing building that's been there. I agree 100% that the lighting there needs to be not shining into the neighbors to the north.
Well, and you also, you and I both also know, of course, we can't make recommendations here, but you and I both know to have someone do a layout of a property is usually free. And getting that done between the work session and now was probably not going to be an easy task. So,
I mean, isn't the shield just something that you order based off of the lights that you have, and the shields are just,
They're just a cover on a screw and you tilt them down as far as you need to tilt. So you could tilt the lights down or you could shield them down, similar to what the Eagles did.
Mhm.
And basically direct that lighting directly down if you want.
And that's,
Oh,
I mean,
okay,
that's
Yeah.
what we're talking about, the lighting ordinance and Don, what Jerry's been Don referring to is the lighting ordinance, which shows an equal light on from property corner to property corner with no light trespass and so on and so forth. What you're talking about is the light shining down and lighting up the area that they're going to light up regardless. It's not gonna effectively 100% light the entire market.
ultimately, I think the lighting ordinance is supposed to
And that's.
help with B's and R's next to each other.
Right.
I mean, that's,
Basically.
yeah.
Basically. is
Yeah.
what it is. But I guess, I mean, my feeling is that if he has the lighting around the building facing down, similar to the Eagles, like when Rory was in here, that does the light need to light up 100% of his parking lot, and does, being that this is a business that's been here for 15 years, does he need to, I mean, adding this 30-foot strip of parking lot, does that constitute we doing the whole thing for a new parking lot? I don't know. That's ultimately the planning commission's call. I mean, I feel that, obviously, like Carl John said, that we want to make sure that we were sure that Birchwood was being a good neighbor to him. When Birchwood was in here, we need to make sure now that he's making improvements to his property, that he's a good neighbor to Birchwood.
And that's all this is.
Right. So,
That's all. this
but
is.
again, the lights on the building, as long as he puts those lights facing straight down or whatever it takes not to face the north, he's gonna have adequate lighting for his site and do his thing without any problems with anybody, I believe. He doesn't have to be
Then-
like Strachan Van Til and have the entire lot lit for a couple people pulling into park. And then, you know, I mean, doing his.
No,
thing, when he
I-
runs his business, I feel that
Yeah.
if this
Yeah,
was a
it's
shopping
different.
mall or a
Yeah.
place, you know, of that nature where
So-
you.
So with that said, I have to ask council. If we allow a deviation from the photometric plan, and somebody gets hurt on the property and there's not enough light, are the taxpayers liable for any of that?
Possibly, it depends on the nature of the incident, the circumstances involved, whether it's tort claims been issued. What our engineer says in a report and in a file. This process is checked off on approved or not approved. Approved conditionally as suggested. A lot of factors.
It's up to Don for the lights too, right? Dave?
It is up to Don.
Yeah.
It is up
Okay.
to Don. Don has to, say
Yeah.
they're good and everything's adequate. And ultimately, I think I said a few minutes ago, it's almost like you drive by there, you don't know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we know how bad the lights can be, and we know how good the lights can be.
If he could get it done in 2 weeks, can we come back? Can we have a special public meeting? in 2
I have no
weeks?
problem with that at all.
I mean.
Zero.
My
Are you gonna
issue,
go to Heather?
Hang on. What, Bob?
Are you gonna go to Heather? She has.
Yeah.
I'm always laughing.
Oh, God. no,
That's not true.
No.
My
that's-
issue is less with the lights. I do believe they're important, but I don't think we can compare him to a Strax. I mean, you're in a completely different location. Now you've got houses behind you next to, I mean, that's totally separate. My issue is that our engineer hasn't looked this over and we don't have a report. I mean, that's all it boils down to for me. So would you be okay with a 2-week coming to our work session? We can make it a special meeting and then vote on this then, when we have. a
Let's make
proper
sure Don
report.
can get it in 2 weeks.
Don, does that give you enough time?
Yeah, we'll do our best to turn stuff around as quick as we can.
Okay.
What about the contingency plan Don suggested? If a motion is made and second and passed, would you be okay with contingency?
Well, Bob, once we get up for a vote, we can make a motion if we want. We gotta wait for petitioner to get done.
That's a policy call. I mean, typically when that motion is made, though, we have a letter issued with specific contingencies noted. I mean, we haven't even gotten to the point where we've issued a letter yet. That would be my only comment.
Yeah.
That's just it. This is not ready.
Could you wait 2 weeks, Roy? Would you be okay with 2 weeks? I mean,
Well-
what's another 2 weeks, huh?
Another two.
But the same, if Don's okay in 2 weeks and then we're all okay, why not just let the building department sign off on it if there's a contingency that Don's okay? So that way, if it happens in 3-4 days, we're fighting Mother Nature here. That's all I'm trying to say.
John, I'm not sure the Mother Nature. Huh?
I mean, at this point in time, Rory is done for this season, unless he's got equipment ready to.
I don't have the
So-
people ready at this point. I mean, it's.
Well, that's what I mean. Another 2 weeks is not gonna change a whole lot.
He's not gonna have this paid until spring. At this point in time, I mean, it's October 22nd or whatever it is, and every person in every town and every person that's got $4 left to pave is using all, every
Paving,
paving
yeah.
contract
Yeah.
to do as much as they
And
can get done.
And don't get me wrong, I don't mean to be threatening up here or anything, but it's, I just need a decision of what you guys are gonna do and what you're not gonna do. You know, so I can make my decision.
Well, I think,
Yeah, so I have no problem coming back in 2 weeks, but if we're gonna come back in 2 weeks, and it's gonna be 4 more weeks, then, yeah, I just need to do something else. And I'm just being upfront with you, I'm
No,
not trying to be threatening, but I gotta figure out what my next move is.
How do we get him an absolute answer on his
Yeah,
lights? in the
that's
next
the-
Okay,
week?
I would like to make a motion to approve the plan and let the motion lay it or die if it doesn't get a second. I'd like to make a motion per what we've been discussing, contingent on Don and the minimum foot candle requirement, and that's my motion.
I'll second that motion.
we have a motion by,
No, she's on the question of.
we,
Questions or discussion?
Yeah, questions or discussion?
Yeah. questions or discussions?
Well, yeah, I mean, I was in the middle of a sentence, so can I finish that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
My sentence is, how do we get him an exact answer on the lighting in the next 8 days?
Well, I don't think, Don needs to look it over. Don said that he would
So Don's gonna get him-
probably get to it. Don, like Mr. Sharp said, Don has to look this over. Don hasn't even looked this over. If Don finds other issues, we know who the engineer is. There could be other issues. If Don finds other issues, then you're standing here in 2 weeks and we're telling you it's gonna be another 2 weeks
But I guess.
or 4
if-
weeks.
If he does see that, can they let me know so that I can kind of work on that stuff?
I-
before-
I will, yeah, I will.
Rory, I don't think you can get any better communication than this circle.
The bad thing
Most
is
in this room.
Michelle's gonna get it 3 days before the next meeting, just like you got it very out. That's how it is.
That's
Nobody's looking
that
for
whole-
something to do.
that whole, yeah.
I'll get it to you as soon as I get it, yeah.
Yeah, that
But
way-
like you said, it's.
Because we can do a special public meeting, we can do whatever in 2 weeks. And I don't think there's anything else. I mean, Don hasn't looked at it, but other than the commitment to resurface in that 12 months and some kind of lighting plan, is there anything else?
That's all I can think
No,
of. Rick.
I don't think anyone's trying to, I mean, like I said again, I don't want to compare you to Strax. I don't think we need to go crazy with the lighting. We just need to make sure it makes sense. We don't want you to spend a whole bunch of money either on lighting.
Well,
I mean,
that's the whole thing. I don't want to be intrusive to them, you know, and I'll do what I need to do.
Yeah.
In that, but I don't know that, you know, spending $24,000.
No.
No,
That's gonna do
yeah.
the same thing.
Agreed. I just have to have a report from our engineer saying
I
he's
I
okay,
totally agree.
we're okay, and then we can all move on. So if you're okay with a special meeting in 2 weeks, we can get you all the answers you need hopefully before then, and then we can all move forward.
But in the meantime, Heather, what if Don looks at the letter in the next few days and everything's hunky dory on Monday, what is it, the 5th? So, or 26th. So then Rory can get going with his business plans and put this as a checkbox and move on with his business, and we can quit wasting the man's time. That's all. I mean,
Yeah,
there's a motion and a second on the floor. So I just think contingent on Don, it matches everything everybody's talking about, and we're done beating the dead horse.
Well, to answer your question, John, I think he already spoke for himself, and I don't want to speak for you either. There's not a lot that's going to happen in the next 2 weeks. Are we holding you up in the next 5 days?
No, but he's just saying, look, okay, if I know that you guys are all good with it, then I can move on. I'm not thinking about, hey, what if something else is going to happen? And if something else is going to happen in the next 3 or 4 days, he can make a decision to rent a place in Remington or in Illinois. That's all I'm saying. So if we're all good with it, contingent on Don, let's call it a done deal and rock and roll and move on to the next subject matter.
I don't even know what I'm good on. I don't have a report.
all right.
That's why it says contingent on town engineer.
All right,
I'm done.
all right. We have a motion by John Foreman. We have a second by Bob Carnahan. I would entertain a roll call. on
Heather
this.
Dustower,
No,
Chuck Becker,
No,
John Foreman,
Yes.
Robert Carnahan,
Yes.
Richard Sharp,
No,
John Capora,
yes,
Jerry Wilkie.
No,
Okay, motion fails.
do we
All right.
need a motion to reschedule in 2 weeks?
for a special public meeting?
Yeah.
I would say that would be good. Anybody like to make a motion to that regard?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Chuck,
second it.
second by Heather,
Special public meeting on November 4th.
November
November
4th.
4th. Yes. November 4th. And
Along with the commitment from Don, that he's going to work as fast as he can. I understand he's busy as well to make sure that we can get this done in 2 weeks.
Don, can you make sure Michelle gets this before the ink dries?
I will review it this week.
Okay. Thanks, Don.
Thank you, Don.
Thanks for getting the streets done, Don.
No problem.
All right, we have a motion by Chuck and a second by Heather for a special public meeting in 2 weeks regarding this item. Roll call, please.
Heather Dustower.
Yes.
Chuck Becker,
Yes.
Sean Foreman,
Yes.
Thank you.
Robert Carnahan, Richard Sharp.
Yes.
John Capora,
Yes.
Jerry Wilkie.
Yes, motion carries.
Thank you.
2 weeks and we'll
2
have
weeks.
everything done, Roy.
Thank you.
Okay,
Should be.
you'll be here?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
What a pain, huh?
See. All right, item 2, Price Point Builders rezone. Owner Winterizing LLC, 1201 North Main Street, Crown Point, 46307. Petitioner Price Point Builders LLC, PO Box 1343, Crown Point. The vicinity is 14530 Wheeler Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana, 46303. Legal description has numerous lots here, 6 lots. Petitioner is requesting a rezone from residential multifamily RM zoning to residential R2 zoning. Don, any comments on this?
We have no comments on this one.
Okay, Mr. Austin, any comments? Legals are in order. Thank you.
Do we have a petition?
Legals are in order. Do we have a petitioner here for this item? Come to the podium, state your name and address, please.
Camille Shu, 7260 Madison Street, Maryville, Indiana, 46410.
Jack Stoffer, co-owner of Price Point Builders, Residence, Dyer, Indiana.
Thank you. You're requesting a rezone from multifamily to R2. Okay. Legals are in order. Don, any comments?
No.
No comments from Don. Michelle, any comments?
No, they're going from a multifamily to a single family.
Everything's
Kind
good.
of what we want, right?
Mr. Kubiak's happy with that, I'm assuming?
Yes, sir. It's
All right.
a multifamily lot in the middle of R2 area, so.
All right.
100%.
Mr. Sharp,
All good.
You're all good?
Jerry, yeah.
Mr. Farr, good. Chuck's good. Heather's good. Bob,
Good with the
You're-
single family.
good
Yep.
with the single family. I also agree. Mr. Foreman, are you have
Yeah,
any
100% in favor. Thank you.
100%? Okay. All right. Would anybody like to, go ahead?
Remonstrated.
Public hearing, sorry.
Pretty much. Oh,
Could you have a seat real quick and I can ask for remonstrators on this item and we can move on.
yeah, right there's fine.
So to get that guy.
Yeah.
Right, are there any remonstrators for or against this item? Price Point Builders rezone. Anyone have anything for or against this? All right, remonstrance is closed. Step back up to the podium here.
He doesn't have to get back.
Yeah, you could stay down there. Yeah, whatever.
Before I solicit a motion, do you have any questions about anything?
No.
You're good? You know what you got to do? Everything's, all right. Okay, very good. All right. Would anybody like to make a motion regarding this matter?
I'll make a motion. I'd like to make a motion.
Favorable recommendation to the town council.
Perfect. I'd like to send a favorable recommendation to the town council for the rezone from RM to R2.
I'll second that.
Second, motion by Heather, second by Chuck for a favorable recommendation. Roll call, please.
Heather Dessauer,
Yes.
Chuck Becker,
Yes.
Sean Foreman,
Yes.
Robert Carnahan,
Yeah.
Richard Sharp.
Yes.
John Capora,
Yes.
Jerry Wilkie.
Yes, motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 3, Viking Build Homes LLC subdivision. Owners Viking Build Homes LLC, 7611 West 140th, Cedar Lake. Petitioner is Michael Tiller, 9204 Brian Lane, Crown Point. The vicinity is 7611 West 140th Avenue, Cedar Lake. The legal description is extensive. Mr. Austin. Legals are in order. All right. Would the petitioner please come to the podium? State your name and address for the record.
Michael Tiller, 9204 Brian Lane, Crown Point, Indiana, 46307. Here tonight requesting preliminary plat and final plat for a one lot subdivision pending 30 days.
Okay. Don, I'm assuming you reviewed all this?
Yes, we did. Similar to 2 weeks ago, we have several noted engineering waivers, which are typical of one lot subs. So waiver of stormwater detention, widening of the public frontage, full right-of-way dedication, just mainly because 140th is pretty uniform throughout at 40 feet rather than 60. Park dedication, tree placement, fronting sidewalks, and then we required if he's drilling a new well to show it on the plat. But other than that, it's good to go.
Right. Have a seat real quick and are there any remonstrators for or against this request? Viking Build Homes LLC subdivision, one lot. Anyone? This portion. Remonstrance portion is closed. Come back to the podium, please. Does anybody have any questions? Tim, Michelle, Bob? No?
You're gonna have trees. You don't need a waiver for the trees. You'll do the 2 trees in the front yard.
The list of waivers for this seemed extensive. Are they actually on the iPad somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, it's nothing different than what we've, taken. just
Yeah, I
one.
think it's normal type
All right.
stuff. Yeah,
I'm
I
just,
agree. Heather.
Except we're not waiving the trees.
Right.
He's gonna put the
I just
trees.
think that the motion needs to include all the waivers
Waiver for Don.
Don had mentioned, minus the trees.
Well, Fagan already had 1,000 trees, right? That's why I was even on it. That's all that.
Okay, Mr. Foreman, any thoughts?
No, I'm fine.
Okay, thank you. Any commissioners here? No, everybody's good?
They got a waiver to sidewalks?
That's Don's recommendation.
Yeah, we sort of talked about it last time.
I think they would be, that'd be sidewalks to nowhere. Similar to that place on the corner at on the way into the old trailer court across from Smith.
Yeah, I think that's what we talked about here.
And that's in Don's letter, running sidewalks required.
Is waived.
Is that way, Don?
That is what we recommend. It's kind of in an area that's off by itself. The anticipation of any kind of sidewalk going in that location would be very low.
You're not liking that, huh?
Oh, but I complained last time about it. Your ordinance on sidewalks, you just told them, the last guys, 2 guys ago speak to the fire for the lights, and now he can't walk because he has no sidewalk. I think sidewalks, if that's the ordinance, sidewalks need to go in. You make some people put them in, some people say, no, that's all right. I'm not going for that. Sidewalks are required, put them in.
All right. Looking for the list of waivers Don suggested.
It's on the thing.
Oh, it's in here?
Yeah.
I don't have
You
time-
want here, you want to come look at this
I
one
don't have
first?
time to look at this.
I know, here, it's right here.
So,
I have one out. This is surprising that I can help out.
no, it's not. It's just hard to run a meeting while you're looking through here.
I guess I'd like to just speak to John's comment real quick. I mean, when we look at these plats, John, just like Don just mentioned, the chances, this property is built up all along this whole road. This is back there on Binion. The chances of the town acquiring right of way to install sidewalks in this vicinity is
Okay.
about 1,000,000,000%. It's not gonna ever happen. The places where we did make people run sidewalks near the public roads, near 133rd,
Yeah.
near places where the potential is even remotely a chance. A couple of them were a pretty far stretch, but they were still along 133rd, along Morse, along areas that, that it's still gonna be it's it's a possibility. How likely, we don't know, but these places like such as the trailer park and this one, I mean, everybody, the houses are built down that road. There is no right of way or no place for the town to, they would have to acquire that land and install those sidewalks. You can't go back and make the homeowners put it in. So that is gonna forever be an area without sidewalks. I mean, it just is.
Wasn't some, said something last meeting about the elevation, the lane?
That was the other one.
That was the, I think that was the one in the trailer on 133rd Lane.
Right.
It was real high up the road, but this is one of those places that it's just not gonna happen. I mean, it's not anything to do with being special, treating anybody differently, but we look at it from the planning perspective that if it is somewhere, you know, even remotely close that we think there's gonna be a shot at it, then we recommend that they be put in. But this is just one of those
And I think we even discussed the trailer park one. I think we even discussed the on your way to school, on your way to the grocery store. And even where the Armor Rock is, I think we discussed, it's where would the sidewalk go up over the railroad
You
tracks.
said that, right.
You know, you either walk under the tracks or you walk over the tracks, then that's probably how
If
we.
there's a lot of development yet to happen, it makes more sense, because then you could have some connectivity to something, but this is just a one meets and bounds parcel in the middle of nowhere that didn't get included in another.
Hey, John, we kind of discussed this a couple of meetings ago about a potential fee in lieu of program. So, I mean, you're right. If you want to enforce this for everybody that comes in, you know, with a 1-lot subdivision and everybody comes in with a 200-lot subdivision, enforce it the same way. For cases like this, I mean, it's always an opportunity to set a fee in lieu of program up so you can, you know, bank some of this money and potentially construct sidewalks where you need them the most. Just a thought to throw out there.
Well, I think we also did that, Don, with this guy down by the lift station past Tasty Top, didn't we? Is there a fee in lieu of a sidewalk? We didn't do that?
No, but I think it was discussed as part of that.
Yeah.
That was first brought up as part of his application.
Yeah, that guy was only building a garage.
That's right.
Yeah, but I think if you're gonna have a policy like that and you want to enforce this pretty uniformly throughout all similar applications, whether it's 1 lot or 200 lots, I mean, that's certainly a way to go in the future if you want to enforce it like that. And then like I said, you can build sidewalk during your, you know, through your busiest corridors that really need it.
So Don, are you suggesting that perhaps a price per square foot fee in lieu of, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, you would certainly want to set something like that so you're not, you know, treating everybody differently, or people are bringing in different proposals from their own contractors. You would want to have a, you know, price per whatever, however that, you know, policy is defined. Just like park fee in lieu of, there's a formula for that. That one admittedly is a little more gray, but you can certainly have a tighter formula for something like this. Yeah.
I think that's a great idea going forward. I absolutely don't think that we can do that to this man.
No, I agree, Heather. I mean,
No, I don't say it should be applied to this application, but it's certainly something you can do.
I think that's a great idea. I'm glad you threw the anchor out boat.
That way it's set and it's written.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
there's no question
something to
about it.
refer to, right?
And we can put together a brief technical memo with some highlights, and you can consider it for, you know,
Future.
things starting in 21.
Yeah.
Was that gonna need some legal review?
I'm sure. You know.
Is something like, go ahead.
Public hearing.
Okay.
No brainer to do it.
Can we do it for like starting in 2021?
Is there enough time to do that in January of 2021? All right,
Love it.
I'm thinking,
I thought we were doing
okay, Don,
Yes.
would you give Mr. Roshan, sorry, Romeo, would you give Mr. Roshan some kind of numbers per square foot for fee in lieu of? So
Yeah, we'll think of some ideas.
perhaps,
It may not be quite, you know, per, you know, a number per linear foot. It could be front. I don't know. I other communities do it. I'll look at what others do and try to, you know, see what works.
I mean, $15 is probably low. I mean,
Yeah.
what do you say, Jim?
well,
I don't
Yeah, it probably needs to be flexible yearly.
Yeah, it would. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I-
15 to 2,000,
15 to 20 bucks a linear foot is what would be
it's a 100-foot lot.
today's day and age.
Oh, okay.
I'm just thinking if Don has something, Dave can put it together and we'll be running with it in January.
That'll save some time.
How would you do that number then? Would you just do the number of quoting it on the concrete prices? Or would you change that or would you just update it as?
Periodic update.
5 years?
I agree with Jack. Change, number change.
Yeah.
Right. What's Jack's coming up with a number?
He's doing the math right now.
Or he's napping. He looks like he's napping.
This could be a while. Let's move on.
Okay. All right, regarding, this Viking Build Homes and the petitioners requesting preliminary plat and final plat for a one lot subdivision. I think we've explored everything. Zoomers, do you have anything?
No, I'm still okay. I respect John's opinion and I think us trying to create some kind of policy perhaps makes sense, but I'm still good with not making him have to abide by it for this approval.
Anyone else? All right. Would someone like to make a motion?
It's two separate.
There's two. Okay.
Okay, would no one like to make a motion for the preliminary plat of the one lot subdivision for Viking Build Homes?
Jerry, did you solicit remonstrators?
Yes, you did earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
so stretching out here a little bit.
It was at 7:44 for the record.
7:44
Remonstrators.
For the record.
for the record. For the record. I don't ever want to go hunting with her. All right. Again, would anyone like to make a motion regarding the preliminary plat request?
Do we need to mention the waivers in the motion?
You
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve the request for preliminary plat.
And final plan, I guess.
No,
No,
two separate ones.
Okay, because the top says both. But anyways, I'd like to make a motion to approve the petitioner's request for preliminary plat, including the engineering waivers.
We have a motion by Heather,
second.
second by Mr. Sharp. Mr. Roll call, please.
Heather Dessart.
Yes.
Chuck Becker.
Yes.
John Foreman.
Yes.
Robert Carnahan.
No.
Richard Sharp.
Yes.
John Capura.
Yes,
Jerry Wilkinick.
Yes. Motion carries. All right, would someone like to make a motion regarding the final plat for this same one lot subdivision? Vicinity of 7611 West 140th Avenue.
I will go ahead as well. I'd like to
Yep.
make a motion to approve the petitioner's request for final plat, noting and including the engineering waivers.
Motion by Heather, including waivers. Second by Chuck Becker. Roll call, please.
Heather Dessart.
Yes.
Chuck Becker.
Yes.
John Foreman.
Yes.
Robert Carnahan. Richard Sharp.
Yes.
John Capura.
yes.
Jerry Wilkinick.
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
All right, item 4. Hanover Development LLC, final plat. Hanover Development LLC and Hanover Farms LLC, 8051 Wicker Avenue, Suite A, St. John. Petitioner, the same. Vicinity is 12400 Wicker Avenue, Cedar Lake. Petitioner is requesting a final plat for Birchwood Farms Phase 2. 25 lots and 2 outlots. Hello, Jeff.
Hello, good evening, Jeff Yatsko, Old Tough Homes, 8051 Wicker Avenue, St. John, Indiana. That's what we're looking for tonight, final plat approval for Birchwood Phase 2, 25 lots and 2 outlots.
All right.
Can I make a comment? Your letter from Don is in paper copy
Oh,
for both the two, for these two next things.
Yes.
tomorrow.
All right, Don, would you, you have any comments on, this right now?
I can summarize our letter. So obviously with final plan approval comes setting of inspection and letter of credit values. This plat is 25 lots and 38 units, I believe. No, it's 25 lots. That's the next one, sorry. So we have no comments on the plat. There's a small remaining comment regarding the detention basin, but there's enough money left in the letter of credit to let that sit. So all of the inspected and approved items on the letter of credit got the letter of credit down to the minimum 25%. So the letter of credit would be in the amount of $140,908.50. And the 3% inspection fees of the total would be $16,909.02. And then the $2,000 MS4 fee for that inspection recoup.
All right. Mr. Austin, anything here that needs legal attention? Okay.
Good. And this is how they always bring you back.
This is for final plat for Birchwood Farm Space, 225 lots and 2 outlots. Regarding the numbers, do we need to get into that? That's not what this motion.
I don't think it is.
That's what this motion's for. This is just Don's letter of record. Yeah. Okay.
Do we have a performance bond amount though? That's
The 140,908.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was on the other page.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So again, I need to ask for remonstrance. Do you have a seat real quick? No remonstrance?
No.
No.
Okay, we're okay.
All right. Does anyone have any comments, questions about this item?
I'm good, Jerry.
Everybody's good? Okay, Bob?
Not about this item, but how many lots do we have in there? It was originally 137, but we cut it down by 1 or 2, didn't we?
No, actually, we just moved a lot, so we still have 137.
Okay.
All right, if there's no more questions. Would anybody like to make a motion regarding the final plat for Birchwood Farms Phase 2? 25 lots and 2 outlots.
So moved.
Bob would like to make a motion. We have a second.
I'll second it.
Second by Chuck Becker.
Wait,
I would mention the letter of
Yeah.
credit inspection value. as part of it.
we have to mention Don's letter and the fees.
To include Don's letter and the
Okay, we have an amendment by, what, Michelle?
To include Don Oliphant's letter, including these fees.
Okay. We have amendment to his motion by Mr. Carnahan. Mr. Becker. Second,
Amended.
as amended. Okay, all right.
That's a performance surety.
Performance surety of 149. Yeah, 149,368.
No,
No?
140, $8.50.
And the 3% fee and the MS4
back
fee.
page. Okay.
mention Don's letter.
Don's
Don's
letter.
letter, yeah,
Okay,
yeah, that's right.
all right. We have motion by Mr. Carnahan and second by Mr. Becker. Roll call, please.
Heather Dessauer.
Yes.
Chuck Becker.
Yes.
John Foreman.
Yes.
Robert Carnahan.
Yes.
Richard Sharp.
Yes,
Josh Corrick.
Yes,
Jerry Wilkie.
Yes, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.
The sign looks great, by the way. The sign looks great.
Well, we need to eat some landscaping around it. But I thought it came up pretty good.
Looks really nice.
That's a nice thing to see when you first drive into town.
yeah, it is. Yeah, you're right.
Lights look pretty good. We got lights on both sides, so it should. Once we get that landscaping finished, hopefully.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
it's, yeah, just pull, make sure you pull all the way off the road though, if you're gonna look at it. 'cause
Okay.
That's a dangerous game. to
It
play.
is dangerous.
That's neat.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right, Heather. Very nice. All right, item 5, Beacon Point of Cedar Lake LLC, Beacon East Phase 1, final plat. Petitioner is requesting final plat for Phase 1, 24 lots. We have a letter from the engineer regarding this matter. State your name and address.
My name is Michael Tiller with Schilling Development, developer of Beacon Point. Here tonight requesting final plat for Beacon East Phase 1. Infrastructure's all in. Roads are going in this week.
Wow.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're all sold. I don't know if they're all sold, but
I bet half of them are sold.
yeah, I'm sure they are. I know some people that are moving there
Yeah.
already.
Okay, there was an item I think we asked you about regarding the sidewalk and those, and any help you could give us with that, or Jack calls the special phone numbers or whatever I refer to them as. Is there any information regarding, the railroad, getting that sidewalk arrangement there?
I had conversations with one of the ladies over there, didn't get very far before
Okay,
I went to the
all right. All right, we have a, Don, do you have any comments on this?
This is a similar letter to Birchwood Phase 2. So this is 24 lots, 38 units in the first unit. This inspection fee is $41,008.42. And the letter of credit for this one, since they're not as far along as Birchwood's a little higher, so it's $997,691.01 would be the performance letter of credit, and also the $2,000 MS4 fee.
Am I reading this right, Don? It says CBEL has reviewed and submitted final plat. And it has no comments.
I'm trying to read that. I can't believe it though, Tim. We might want to frame this.
Wait, what?
Nothing, Don.
That screw sentence up?
That bold print, 2/3 of the way down the page, Don.
Oh,
I've never seen that before. I'm like,
oh, shush.
Tim's gonna put that on the visor of his truck.
We work stuff out behind the scenes, so.
Absolutely not.
Never for you.
It'll be on everything Jack turns in.
Yeah.
I read that.
Yeah, I did too, Tim. Same reaction.
All right, Mr. Roshan, anything here that needs anything? Okay. All right, town engineers' comments are on paper. And the numbers, performance bond to remain is on here. I guess no one has. Bob, anything?
Tell, refresh me, how many lots are we going to have there in Beacon Point?
Total? I don't have.
Well, I could go back into my record.
Yeah, I think also, Jack, it got cut by 40 some when you went to the townhome, cottage home arrangement as opposed to what it was zoned for.
Way more, yeah.
It was way more than that.
Oh, no, it's more. Yeah, that's right.
I think it was
there.
96.
Yeah.
Was it 96? Okay, yeah, it was
way up there,
significant, Bob,
yeah.
compared to what could have been there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Don has nothing else. Commissioners have anything else? Mr. Foreman, any thoughts?
No, I'm good.
All right. I guess, anyone like to make a motion? regarding Beacon Point East. Final plat for 24 lots, phase 1. Include Don's letter.
I will go ahead and make a motion, that we, use John's letter with the figures in, 4 pages.
Okay, Bob makes a motion with to include Don's letter to approve
Yes.
the final plat for phase 1, 24 lots. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Heather Dessauer. Roll call, please.
Heather Dessauer,
Yes.
Chuck Becker,
Yes.
John Foreman,
Yes.
Robert Carnahan,
Yes.
Richard Sharp,
Yes.
John Tora,
Yes.
Jerry Wilkie.
Yes. Motion carries unanimously. Yes, sir.
You're intending to have a special, public meeting at the November 4th. Special, we would like to be under consideration for, the board of president at that time, if we have more improvements that would qualify. We're okay with the numbers that have been approved tonight, but if we can get more work done in the next 2 weeks and get that approved and done, we'd like that possible consideration.
Is this regarding item 6?
No.
Oh, okay, all right.
Item 5, the one we just talked, okay, okay.
Yeah, I don't see a
If
problem.
that's, if that's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're just
That's-
talking pavement?
Well, and Don, are you hearing Jack Hulse's request?
Yeah, it's for a special public meeting.
Okay, all right.
It would just be for pavement, right?
It would be possible payment if there's any other things that will. I don't know what they're gonna be able to get done in the next 2 weeks and what can be expected.
It'd have to be at least a week.
yeah, just
Yeah.
get done. in a week.
So ultimately, you kind of have, you only have a week because Don
Yeah.
needs this stuff ahead of time. And so, yeah, stop by
If
anytime.
possible.
Yeah,
So-
I would have asked if you don't let you, we're all right about it.
No.
Jack calls, at the top of the agenda and not at the
So
bottom.
you leave.
Thank you for that.
No, that's fine.
No.
It's seems
thanks,
makes
Brent.
perfect sense. Makes perfect sense, but Don's quite overloaded, so you feel his pain? Okay, all right. Okay, then I guess item 6, Ledstone Performance Letter of Credit expires November 15th, 2021.
Guess his name. Sorry. Hiya.
Sure, yes.
I could have too much fun with this and that wouldn't be right. Owner petitioner Diamond Peak, 1313 White Hawk, Crown Point. They would like to convert the performance letter of credit to a maintenance letter of credit. And I believe there's a petitioner here for this item.
Michael Tiller with Showing Development, representing Ledgestone, here tonight to convert from performance letter credit to maintenance bond. With a minimum reduction.
All right.
Did we-
Don Oliphant,
Yeah.
any comments?
We're still getting through, Public Works still has to look at some of the adjustments for sanitary and water. I know I talked to Tim today, he said they hadn't gotten to it yet. And then we also have what we think is an outstanding inspection report from 2017 that we had sent to Todd Clevin. I don't think it was ever remedied. So we're still kind of looking through some older stuff to make sure everything's up to snuff. So we're not really at a point to convert it just yet, probably next month. They
Okay.
did pave final surface about 2+ weeks ago. So we're close, but we're not quite there yet.
It's a 2-week thing.
Okay. I have to ask.
It has to be, yeah.
It says November 15th, 2021. That's a year from now.
Correct.
So we can wait.
It doesn't expire. They're asking for it to be reduced.
Oh, okay,
Reduction,
right.
okay.
Yeah. Okay,
It'll still expire that date.
gotcha.
They need to reduce the amount.
Yeah, would you be coming here in 2 weeks for a special public meeting too?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, just, that's advisable. The,
Did Don
yeah,
hear
if you
that?
have,
Just make-
yeah,
make
Don,
sure.
Don,
We might not be ready. It depends what we gotta do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There was
yeah.
some, I mean, Public Works, we were trying to get done with the Birchwood and the Beacon thing, and this was like the last one. and-
yeah.
I
And
mean,
it-
why are we rushing that? Can't
No.
just be,
Well, I'm just saying if he wants to, he can come here, but he only has a week to get this stuff done.
Yeah. If it's not ready, it's not ready.
Jim may not be have a chance,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
Yeah.
We
Plus,
get
it's
our
gotta be
stuff ready,
inspected.
we'll be ready. If we
Yeah.
can, we'll try.
If these aren't ready, will they not be on the agenda,
They will be on the agenda.
no matter what?
if they're not
Yes.
ready.
If they're not ready, will they be on the agenda? Question.
If they're not ready, they will not be on the work session because there's no reason to have a letter of credit on the work session. They
Yeah.
would only
Or,
be on
or
the
the,
work
or the special
Special
public
meeting.
meeting agenda.
Correct.
Okay, all right. All right, so I think you're good.
Yep.
All right. We have update items, Summer Wind Unit 2, Performance Letter of Credit Unit 3, Beacon Point Unit 3, Beacon Point Unit 4, Performance Letter of Credit.
Summer Winds 2 and 3, the developer's likely going to request or formally request a reduction to the minimum on both of those. We sent out some information this past weekend, just kind of letting them know what's outstanding to get it to that point. So we'll work over the next month to get those down. Beacon Point 3 and 4, kind of same thing as last meeting. They both don't expire till 21. They likely will, I don't know if I think they paved surface on them already. So it's just a matter of tying up some loose ends and getting those flipped over into maintenance at some point. So we're working on all 4.
All right, well, Don, thanks for that update. I guess we'll get the public comment. Is there any public comment? Anyone? Any commissioners? Anything? All right. Guess everybody's good. Mr. Roshan, anything? Okay,
Do have a report.
go ahead.
This is, I know staff's worked on, I've worked on, our extended letter of credit surety. It has been extended for 1 year. And anticipate, I think, staff will see this the next couple of months, we're coming in for reduction, obviously, because of the completion of work, but we are secured under the performance letter of credit.
The list of inspections was pretty extensive, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think Don had,
there was several items,
It's over 100.
okay,
or 100, yeah.
And Dave, you were going to talk about the alleyway going past Doc Freeman's place, you said last
Oh,
time.
gosh, Bob, you're absolutely right. From his firm, Glenn Boren, surveyed the alley and east side of Lincoln Plaza from the King Medical Building south of the Jackson Van Hills property. And I will provide you a copy of that. I did, Bob, you're absolutely right. I completely forgot. But we have survey with legal. You will see what we have and what we don't have. Done finished, making sure that alley has integrity of ownership. Who or whomever needs to pay attention to that. I will make certain that's here. Get it finished up.
Are we okay with that new water main in that alley?
I think so. 'Cause that's happening, but let me send it over to him. Bob's right. I mentioned that last night with the council. And, completely faded it away.
I'm trying to get that before the weather, I'm trying to get that.
I'll send it over to him. And we'll see what the surveyor has to say.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
no, I was just, you don't usually space things off. I was just thinking maybe there was too much excitement last night in your neighborhood.
Could be,
Could be.
it was a little noisy.
All right, I guess we can adjourn. What time you got, Sarah? 8:18.
Nice number.
What'd she say?
Okay, have a good night.